Hello everyone, welcome to MDLR Fishing. My name is Mark and today I want to talk to y'all about the rod and reel setups that I have been sporting out there in the marsh lately. And for those of you that are my faithful subscribers, the ones who follow and constantly watch, y'all have noticed and you've asked plenty of questions which prompted me to do the live stream. And here we are doing the video. For everybody else out there that's not new to the channel, but you found your way over here, welcome. I hope you're gonna enjoy the content that I have for you today. So behind me is the brand new Arius lineup. It's the MDLR Fishing kayak rod of their lineup from Old 18 Outfitters. Old 18 Outfitters, really quick, they are a veteran-owned company, very small right now. I'm hoping for all of that to change with the partnership that we are doing together and with your help by purchasing rods and spreading the word to all your friends and family. Maybe they're going to grow and I will be able to benefit from that as well. So I'm looking forward to the work that we're going to do together in producing rods. Let's just see how far that's going to go. Here we are. So the Arius lineup. This rod it's a 7-footer. It's a Batson Rain Shadow blank. Real quick, a little bit of the history behind using this blank. I searched for the better part of 2 years trying to find an ultralight casting rod from all the big box manufacturers, and at the Houston Fishing Show, I asked about it and nobody did it. At iCast, I asked all the major brands, nobody produced one of these. So I went the custom rod building route, and the custom rod builder that I used to produce my old rods that I used previous 2 years since I've been YouTubing back here home in Texas, did a phenomenal job. He recommended the Batson Rain Shadow, so that's what I went with. That's what I decided to go with Old 18 Outfitters. The master builder from there asked what it was that I wanted. I let him know, and then this is what you're looking at, the prototype. And this guy has been killing it out there in the marsh. I'm able to pick up where I left off with my old rods, and this fella is able to take some of the most serious abuse that a redfish can possibly put on it. We're talking mid-slot redfish all the way up to baby bull reds here in Texas. So a little bit about the rod. You've got super grade A cork. It's an 8.5-inch handle. Going to be tweaked a little bit for the production model, so I look forward to seeing that change. You've got a Fuji reel seat with hidden threads for the hood whenever it rides down. The threads look real tacky. That's something that I couldn't get with my custom rod builder, and that's what I asked for from the master rod builder at Old 18, and he said, no problem, I got something in mind. What do you think about this? I said, it looks sexy. Let's do it. So we've got that. You've got a show-through blank right there as well, so that whenever I'm gripping the rod and casting and retrieving, I have all the sensitivity there. So that is really nice to have. And then we move on over to the guides. These guys are from Sea Guide. It's the titanium nitride it's a titanium guide with nitride ring inserts. The very best guide that they make, and you've got 12 of them on the casting rods. You can look forward to there being no corrosion, especially for those of you that are saltwater fishermen. These guys will work equally as well in the freshwater scene. However, I probably don't recommend it because you're going to be trying to muscle big bass and stuff like that away from brush piles, piers, docks, things of that nature, and you probably don't have the backbone to do that. But if you want to try your luck and give those guys a chance, I certainly recommend trying one of these rods out. It will seriously impress you and up your game as an angler, giving the fish a shot at getting away. So the blank, again, I don't know if I mentioned it, 7 foot long. Why 7 foot? Because I love kayak fishing and I need the tip of the rod to be able to go around the bow of the kayak. So that's why we got a 7 foot length. 8.5 on the handle. Why? Well, because again, we're in the kayak. This is a kayak version of their Arius lineup, and Awesome. It is the MDLR, here, let's see. It is the MDLR version of that Arius lineup. And a little bit of the backstory, why the name Arius. It is the, okay, let's back up again. It's a veteran-owned company. So Randy and Lucky. Randy was a SEAL, not was, he still is a SEAL, but Randy used to be a SEAL in the Navy, and then Lucky was a fighter pilot in the Navy, and I'm a retired Master Gunnery Sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, so how can I not go with a veteran-owned company? It just makes sense. The Arius is the kayak that they used in the SEALs, so that's awesome that the name is fitting for the rod that I am using because I love kayak fishing. So again, that's why the handle is so short in comparison to the remainder of the lineup that will be put into production later on. Now, what's on this? We've got a Shimano Calcutta Conquest 100. This is a very tiny bait caster. It's your more conventional style, but make no mistake, this little beauty right here has been battle tested for 3+ years, and it can reel in just about anything. The biggest fish to date is a 42-inch Jack Crevalle out in Port O'Connor, and this fella did it. 10-pound Power Pro braid, and we're using a 20-pound Seaguar fluorocarbon leader. So the reason why this rod was born was because I want to throw very light lures, and this right here is kind of like a fly, but it's tied and fished, or so it's tied like a fly, but it's fished like a conventional lure. I love casting finesse style lures. I consider myself a finesse fisherman. I just don't do it with a fly rod. I do it with this regular conventional gear. And I can whip these lures out there a long way whenever I'm sight casting fish, and it just works. So that is the rod. You've got a hook keeper right here, and let's turn over to the light action bait casting rod that we've got. Here we are. It's the twin sister to the ultralight, with the exception that I'm throwing a little bit bigger lures. This is a 1/8 ounce swim hook with a swim bait, a paddle tail, and everything else is the same. Same test pound leader. The rod length is 7 foot long. The power is just light action. The same amount of guides, 12 of them, titanium, nitride inserts, split grip, super grade A cork, Fuji reel seat, hidden threads. All of it is exactly the same. Same Batson Rain Shadow blank. And again, I can just throw a little bit heavier lures on this fella, but it is a beast. Let's go on over to the spinning side now. There's a few subtle differences on those. So right here is the ultralight spinning rod. Now ultralights, they're, you know, if you want an ultralight rod, you can drop down to the spinning side, and that's where you're gonna find them. I only had trouble trying to get me an ultralight and light action casting rod, but the spinning rods, they just follow suit. And I'm pairing this thing with a Shimano Soray 500S. It's a tiny, tiny spinning reel. This guy is a super sexy, but it is a beast in a tuxedo. I'm telling you what, 7 pounds of drag, and it's more than enough to tangle up with the biggest of redfish in our inshore Texas waters. Everything else, again, pretty much standard with exception to the guides. You have 11 on the spinning rods, same titanium, same nitride rings. These are the smallest rings, the very lightest. The rods themselves, the heaviest one out of the 4 that I own is like 3.2 ounces. So very, very light stuff that I'm working with. Super grade A cork, the Fuji reel seat with a, what do you call it, show through blank, and then hidden threads, beautiful hood. This right here, the hook keeper, is going to change on the production model because this gets in the way. The line likes to get caught up just like that. So we're probably going to place it down here or somewhere. I'm not too sure what the master rod builder at Old 18 is going to do, but he assured me that that was going to change. And then aside of that, this thing is just spectacular. It performed flawlessly during my testing, and I'm just happy to say I can't wait to see it when it has been put into production and available for retail so that you all can be able to use them as well. So this is the last one out of the 4 that I currently own. It's a light action rod. Again, another 500 series Shimano Sahara 10 pound or 5 pound Power Pro braid. So that's something that I didn't mention with the Soray. Both of these spinning reels have 5 pound braid, and then the leaders that I am using with that 5 pound braid is a 12 pound Seaguar Invisix fluorocarbon leader and throwing the light stuff. So I can whip it out there to catch those reds that are super far away that I'm seeing their dorsals. They're busting up on bait inside the marsh, alongside the bank, shrimp going everywhere. It is a riot out there, and sight casting those guys is a blast. And then doing it on this light action stuff versus doing it on fly fishing gear, I don't think I'm skilled enough to do the whole fly fishing thing. You get the same type of action with this type of a setup. You just ain't got to be super coordinated the way you got to be on a kayak when you're trying to fly fish out there. So everything else, again, is the same. 11 guides on this, 12 guides on the casting rods. These are prototypes, and they're going to be available at the Houston Fishing Show. Actually, they're going to be available right now. Whenever you see this video, just know that there are 23 like prototype rods exactly like this, mirror images of what I just showed you, that are available for sale. They're $220. This is a custom rod with the best that money can buy. These titanium guides will never rust. That's why I had them use titanium, because the corrosion, if you have stainless steel guides, they're going to corrode regardless. These guys will not corrode. The rings are some of the hardest material that's available out there. So what does that mean? It's basically going to last you a lifetime. And at $220, you cannot beat it. This is a great steal. Beautiful craftsmanship. It's held up. Every one of the rods behind me has stood the test of catching a 25-inch plus redfish out there in shallow water. And it can go toe-to-toe with just about every rod out there. So they're going to be available at the Houston Fishing Show. They're available right now. If you call Old 18 Outfitters and mention MDLR 20, then you're going to get 20% off of this. So you're going to get even more savings on this $220 rod for the prototype. The production, I don't even know. I don't want to speak on it because it's not even made yet. It's going to take some time to get that into motion. But these right here, you can definitely own one if you act fast. So the Houston Fishing Show, if you show up to the Houston Fishing Show and some of the rods are still available, all you have to do is mention MDLR 20 and you're going to get 20% off of those rods and also everything else that Old 18 sells, with exception to the Ambush series rod or the fishing rod lineup, because if that's already discounted. And if they discount it any further, then the guys are going to be losing money. So that rod comes in at a great budget price. Look them up. I highly recommend the rods. They are veteran owned. They are based out of Magnolia, Texas. A great group of 3 guys just trying to make it big, as everybody is in the fishing industry. And I would definitely love to see them grow, because my working with them only means that I'm going to be able to grow. And with the love and support that each and every one of you viewers out there show me, I know that we can make it happen. All right, so the Houston Fishing Show, I almost forgot. I will be there on Friday, March 6th at the Old 18 Outfitters booth from 11 till probably closing time. And then on Saturday, I'm going to go right back out and show some love and support to Bugs Fishing. So I'll be there at that booth from 11 a.m. till probably closing time. If you're going to be in the Houston area and you were already going to show up to the show, seriously, I would really love to say hi and shake your hand, talk a little bit about fishing, and meet everybody out there that supports me. So I am looking forward to the show. I've had a blast the previous 2 years when I showed up to the show, so looking forward to it. I want to shake your hand. Come on out, show some support, and it's going to be a blast. All right, that is it. Until next time, tight lines, y'all.